I'm so scared. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry that we went out here. I'm just so scared. This movie's chasing me. I keep seeing things. It's coming for me.
Blair Witch, which is the sequel to the 1999 movie The Blair Witch Project, and has a group of filmmakers setting out to find the Blair Witch Project's missing protagonist Heather in the Black Hills Forest in Burkittsville, Maryland, where she was last seen. The Blair Witch Project originally was the first successful found footage movie, spawning a new franchise that has been copied, expanded, evolved, and parodied ever since. And that's probably why Blair Witch feels so stale and repetitive. The genre isn't as fresh anymore. Blair Witch at first was quite interesting. It is a found footage movie and there's a lot of that, shaky cam style which you can't really tell what's going on sometimes. There's other times where it focuses in on the action. You can easily see, oh, I can tell what that is. But other times they're running and you're not really understanding what's going on at all. It's a lot of it shot at night. These are a lot of things that the found footage genre is plagued with. But Blair Witch takes a lot of those ideas and puts it in new directions, mainly with the technology that it uses. The characters have earpiece cameras, they have drones, night vision cameras, GoPros, lots of real new technology which allows the movie to feel more realistic, because instead of just shooting on some dodgy camera, which we're also doubting how they're just carrying that around all the time perfectly in front of their faces, like just specifically the earpiece cameras allow us to have a closer look at the character's point of view. As the movie goes on, the characters dive deeper and deeper into the Black Hills Forest. They start to see some few little things that set them off edge, that make them feel very uncomfortable. Something isn't right here, and those small things get bigger and bigger and bigger, and the movie builds and builds and builds and sets up some really great suspense. The tension of this movie just keeps increasing. There was so many moments where my heart was literally pounding in my ears. I had no idea where this movie would go. I'd never even seen the Blair Witch Project, so Blair Witch was this massive surprise. There was so many things that was going on that some things I'd already seen in other fan footage movies, but I was still involved. I was still wondering where this movie could really go. All these things start happening. You don't really know what's going on. The sound design, the editing just really puts you in that moment and does not hold you away. It's this unrelenting experience that just gets more and more claustrophobic, both in setting and story. And just when you think it can't get any worse, it ends quite abruptly. Just bam, it's over with no explanation whatsoever, no slight little hint to what any of it even meant. And I sat there for a good 5 minutes and wasn't shocked of like, wow, that was such an amazing experience. That was such a great thrill ride. No, I sat there and thought, what the hell was that? Are you kidding me? Blair Witch is so I don't even know what to call it. My friend Reese, who I went to the screening with, you can find his film reviews on Dirksy magazine, which I will put a link in below. We finished watching the movie and we were discussing back and forth about what we liked and didn't like, and he said that Blair Witch was the cinematic equivalent of Blue Balls, getting you really worked up and excited and waiting for that big payoff where you can just feel like, oh yeah, and then it just kills it, and you're left sitting there like, what was that for? But then it starts to get worse, because usually with movies that have abrupt endings that kind of feel anticlimactic, you start to think, wait, what was going on the whole time? There must have been something that I was missing. And you go back in your mind and you start to put the pieces together, and you start to put scenes that you didn't really understand at that time together with the ending of the film. And then it starts to become a little bit more clear and you understand why the ending was the way that it was. But that is not the case with Blair Witch, because the more that I thought about it, the more I realized none of this movie meant a damn thing. None of the scares in the end with Blair Witch felt deserving. They just kind of felt cheap. Like they were trying to throw anything out there to really terrify you. But very little of it actually sticks in your mind. So many times they just repeat the same ideas and techniques and little visual motifs of the first movie. And that isn't right because it doesn't feel like anything new. It just feels repetitive. It just feels like the same slog that we've gone through with not only with Blair Witch Project, but pretty much every single Paranormal Activity movie ever made. I will give Blair Witch points for going in different directions with the technology that, like I said, that gave you a realistic, personal look at the situation at hand. The characters are very well realized by this just unknown cast of actors. I think that the interactions between these characters really made the movie more interesting than what it could have been. We could have just had some cardboard cutout standard characters, but our characters felt like characters. They were charming, they were nice, they were sweet, they had emotions, they had journeys to follow along with. In the end, Blair Witch succeeds because of its characters, because it's more professionally made than the Blair Witch Project. It does have its share of scary moments, but the ending just kind of ruins the entire experience, and I will not say that Blair Witch will be remembered as well as the Blair Witch Project, nor as influential, and you're better off streaming it instead. So Blair Witch, have you seen it? Please tell me what you think about it. Remember, push that little red button. Thank you for watching.